I got into CrossFit back in 2011. I had a friend of mine from Adelaide contact me when I was living in Sydney and said, hey, you got to check out this CrossFit stuff. I know you're playing football now and it'll really help with your pre-season. It'll make you a better athlete. And I was like, oh yeah, but I already run and I already go to the gym and I already lift weights and stuff like that. But at the time I was sort of always like very sort of intrigued about how I can be better and how I can make better teams and all that type of stuff. So I decided to give it a go, and I contacted a local gym, and it ended up being CFX, which is the director of the Australian Regionals, Mick Shaw's gym. And I went down and I asked him if I could, you know, hang around the gym and learn what CrossFit's about, and he said, yeah, sounds really good. He said, just mop the gym at the end of every session each day that you come in, and I'll start teaching you a bit more about CrossFit. And the first session I did, it completely floored me. Like, I remember, I think it was just like 1 minute of box jumps, 30-second rest, 1 minute of push-ups, 30-second rest, 1 minute of something. I was just like, what is this? Why is this hurting me so bad? And I was just like, well, whatever it is, I've got to do more of it. It'll make me a better footy player. So I sort of took it from there and started realizing that people would write their times up on the board, and I'm quite competitive, naturally quite competitive. I have an older brother who's only 11 months older than me, so we were always quite competitive. And when people started writing their times up, I'm just like, oh, if we're putting times up, I'm going to go real hard. So I started getting competitive with people in the gym and friendly competition, and then they were just like, oh, are you going to compete in the Open? And this was like 2 weeks after I started CrossFit, and I said, oh, what's the Open? And it's like, it's the first year we're doing it. It's 2011. And it's just like, they're going to announce a workout every week and you've got to do it and you're going to compete against everyone in the world. I'm just like, yes. I was like, this is cool. And coming from a background of football, so I did a lot of running and cardiovascular, I was reasonably fit, and I lifted weights, so I thought I was reasonably strong. Like, I came into CrossFit with maybe like a 180, 190 kilo deadlift and like a 150, 160 kilo back squat and other things like that, a 140 kilo bench press. And then I sort of just needed to learn how to do the movements, and then I just really took to it. Once competition started getting involved, I just really took to it, and I ended up enjoying going to CrossFit every day way more than I ended up going to footy. And I played football for 8 or 9 years, and that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be a professional football player. And then when I started doing that, I'm just like, I'm having way more fun doing this. You know what? I'm just going to go do this. So I guess that's kind of how I got into CrossFit, and I stepped straight pretty much into the Open, and that's what got me really intrigued. And after that, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try and, you know, kick it really hard over this next 12 months and try and make it to regionals.
Come on. Yeah, you got it, buddy. Ooh.
How'd that feel?
Heavy.
Do you have a 2-rep RM?
That's it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Like you just hit it?
Yep. Yeah, my best is probably like 120 is for a single, so 110 for a double is pretty good for me.
Now you get to do it how many more times?
Then we have to do it 20 more times. That's all right. Yes. Better, man. Come on, Adam. Yep. Good job. So before the games last year, that was my 1RM. It's pretty good. So bad. Oh, well, I never would have picked, I guess if I look at it in essence, the way that my life has changed is I never would have guessed that I would have owned a gym when I was 21. I never would have thought that I would have been back in Adelaide. I thought I would have stayed over in the eastern states. And yeah, so it's allowed me to, you know, travel around the world. It's allowed me to open a really cool gym with a bunch of really cool members. It's allowed me to have freedom with my training. It's allowed me to, you know, be able to create some jobs for my friends and family. And it's just, yeah, it's given me the ability to do a lot of really cool things that not everybody gets an opportunity to do. So there's a lot of freedom involved, but it also is allowing me to pursue a goal of mine to see how good I can get. It's really like, I get asked the question, what's your why? And like, why do you do it? And for a long time, like, I sort of looked at it as like, I wanted to do it because I really enjoyed making other people happy, and I really enjoy seeing my friends and family enjoy what I do and get excitement out of doing what I'm doing, and, you know, competing well, and I still love that, and like that's a big part of it too. Like, I really enjoy seeing other people happy, and that's kind of like why I like to do it. But for me, like, I guess what really gets me out of bed every day, I just want to prove to myself that I can, you know, I can compete with the best of the best in the world. And I love training. I love going and finding a new challenge. I love going and finding a new sand dune to run up, and how fast can I get up it, and who wants to race me, and you know, just find fun in fitness, and experiment with as different many options as I can to, you know, find a grueling session or to find something that's going to really test me, which is like pretty much the CrossFit Games. It'll give you a good test, but now I'm starting to realize it's like physically, you can test a bunch of people physically on any given day, and if they've had rest and if they've had all this type of stuff, then they can compete well. But getting them to be tested mentally is a completely different thing. So I'm starting to figure that out a little bit more now. So physically, I think I can be tested, but mentally, I'm working really hard on that mental game. So yeah, in essence, I guess really my why would be is I really enjoy pushing myself, and I really want to see what I can do, and to prove to myself that I can compete with the best of the best if I really set my mind to it.